Welcome to the deep dive. We take your sources, look through them, and try to pull out the most important bits of knowledge for you.
That's the plan.
So today, we're getting into something I think pretty much everyone can relate to. You know that feeling when you're facing a really, really daunting task?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you have to say something, deliver a message you just know isn't going to land well.
Oh, absolutely. That heavy feeling.
Exactly. It feels overwhelming. Maybe you feel kind of isolated, alone with it. So the big question we're trying to tackle today is, well, how do you keep going? How do you persevere when it feels that hard?
And for this, we've been looking closely at a devotional. It's called God's Hand is Strong on You, Ezekiel 3 devotional.
Okay.
And it really focuses on this specific passage in the book of Ezekiel in the Bible. And it draws out some, well, pretty powerful ideas about courage, about being empowered, and sort of navigating situations that just feel impossible.
Right, like finding strength from somewhere else.
Exactly. How external strength can, carry you.
Okay, so our mission here for this deep dive is basically to pull out the key insights, the practical stuff from Ezekiel chapter 3 and how this devotional applies it. Maybe find some surprising things in there too. We want to give you a shortcut, really, to understanding this idea that some kind of external force, this powerful presence, can actually push you forward, even when you feel like you've got nothing left in the tank yourself.
Yeah, and there are some details in the original text that are, well, they're quite striking. Makes it very real.
Okay, let's unpack this then. What happens when you're asked to do something really hard and you just feel completely, utterly overwhelmed?
Well, this devotional takes us straight into Ezekiel chapter 3. And right away, God gives Ezekiel this, well, pretty unusual command.
Wow.
He's told to eat a scroll. Literally, eat it.
Eat a scroll.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the text explains the scroll is like God's word. But it's full of lamentations, mourning, woe, not exactly cheerful stuff.
Right.
So he eats it. And then he's told, right, now go speak to the house of Israel. Well, they're described as, let's say, difficult, stubborn, hard-hearted, basically a group you'd expect not to listen.
Okay, so tough message, tough audience. How does he react?
Well, what's really notable is his immediate obedience. He just does it.
Huh.
And the text says when he ate the scroll, it tasted sweet as honey.
Sweet as honey.
Ah.
So you'd think, okay, this is good. Divine message tastes sweet. Maybe this won't be so bad after all.
You would think, but, and this is where it gets really, really interesting, despite that sweetness, despite obeying, the passage then says Ezekiel felt bitter and burdened.
Bitter, even after the honey.
Yes, he actually says, I went in bitterness in the heat of my spirit. So he's got this clear instruction from God. He's literally consumed the message. It tasted sweet, but he's still struggling, really struggling with the emotional weight of what he has to do.
Wow. Okay, so that seems like a contradiction.
Yeah.
Sweetness and bitterness all at once. How does the devotional handle that? What does it make of it?
That's the key point the devotional really digs into. It highlights that even with this, intense internal struggle, the bitterness, the heat of his spirit, the text also emphasizes something crucial right alongside it.
Which is
the phrase, the hand of the Lord was strong upon me.
Oh.
It's not just God telling him what to do. It's presented as God actively, physically almost, carrying him. The verse goes, the Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went in bitterness. The hand of the Lord being strong upon me.
So the bitterness is real, but the strong hand is also real at the same time.
Exactly. It suggests this powerful external force moving him, propelling him forward despite how he felt inside, despite the bitterness, despite the overwhelm. It really challenges that idea that, if you're spiritually strong, you won't feel negative emotions or struggle.
Yeah, that's a really important distinction. Being carried forward even with the burden, not instead of it. So does the devotional explain, why his feelings didn't have to match up? What's the practical takeaway for someone today? If you feel that same bitterness, that same sense of this is too hard, what does this passage offer?
Well, this really gets to the heart of it. The devotional points out that Ezekiel didn't suddenly, puff up his chest and feel brave.
Right. The bitterness didn't vanish.
No. He was bitter. He was overwhelmed, definitely. But crucially, he was also being carried. And the main insight the devotional keeps coming back to is this. We aren't actually called to act or speak out of our own strength.
Yeah.
Or rely on our own emotional reserves, our fortitude.
Okay. So what then?
We're invited to go ahead because, as the devotional puts it, God empowers us.
Yeah.
and his Spirit leads us. It's like a total shift in where the power comes from.
Right. It's not about generating the strength yourself, but about receiving it or being moved by it.
Precisely. It completely reframes what resilience actually means in these situations.
So tying this all together, it sounds like the message is when you feel weak or maybe scared, discouraged about saying something true but difficult.
Yeah.
This passage is kind of saying, remember, you're not actually operating alone.
Exactly.
It's about knowing or trusting that God's hand is on you and letting his Spirit carry you forward.
Yeah.
That's quite different from the usual advice, isn't it? Which is often like, find your inner strength. Be brave.
Totally different. It challenges that whole idea that we have to somehow conjure up the courage first, get ourselves into the right emotional state before we act.
Yeah.
This shows even someone like Ezekiel, with this incredibly direct commission from God, still felt the struggle intensely.
But the support was stronger.
The support was there carrying him through it, yes.
Okay. So that really does shift how you might view your own feelings of weakness or discouragement.
Yeah, it really does. It's not saying ignore those feelings or pretend they aren't there. It's saying they don't have to stop you. They don't disqualify you. Those overwhelming feelings don't cancel out the power that's available to actually move you. It's more like an invitation, maybe, to lean on that external support precisely because you feel weak.
That's a profound way to look at it.
Yeah.
Especially because it feels so counterintuitive sometimes.
It does.
And here's something else, just building on that. The text is really specific. Even after being lifted up, even with God's hand strong upon him, it says Ezekiel then went and just sat. It says he sat there overwhelmed among them 7 days, among the very people he was sent to speak to.
Right. 7 days. Overwhelmed.
So even being carried, even being empowered, it didn't mean the feeling of overwhelm just instantly disappeared or that a task immediately felt easy. He still had to sit with that heaviness right there in the middle of it all.
That's a really crucial detail, isn't it?
It is. So here's a final thought maybe for you, the listener, to chew on. What does that tell us about the process of being carried or empowered? It seems it can happen even while the immediate reality, the feeling in the moment, is still really heavy, still overwhelming. So how might understanding that the carrying doesn't always erase the weight right away, how might that change the way you approach your own moments of bitterness or feeling overwhelmed? When you know the support might be there, strong, even if you're still sitting overwhelmed for a while.